So what's going on, Gas Gang? Today we are back with an absolutely crazy video and one that I've wanted to tell you about for so long now. But the time has come to tell you exactly how we are taking this bad boy to the next level. Guys, it's going to the moon. Stay tuned for this one. It's gonna be sick. Let's get it. Welcome to Officially Gas. Let's get it.
For the best in universal premium ester-containing engine oils and fuel additives for both petrol and diesel engines, check the links in the description.
Hey yo, but before we get into the video, behind me we got my Renault Megane RS 250 Cup. I just haven't been able to make the content I wanted for you guys on the car. So it's time for someone else to enjoy it. And I'm gonna give it away. And here's how I'm gonna do it. So I've teamed back up with the boys from Level Up Giveaways. And I know what you're thinking, but no, you're wrong. You can't actually buy a ticket to straight up win this car. If you head over to Level Up Giveaways right now, you'll see there is an ultra clean Mark 6 Golf R up for raffle for just 49p a ticket, which is a crazy ticket price anyway. And if you put a ticket on that, you're automatically entered to win my car, plus a whole host of other instant wins. And guys, although I would love to keep this car, I've just got so many other projects on, I just haven't got the time to dedicate towards it. So as I said before, I want someone else to enjoy it, and hopefully an OG subscriber. Guys, this car is fully loaded. It's EFI tuned, a Wagner front mount intercooler, the all important CAE shifter, it's got bucket seats, it's fully polybushed. Guys, the list goes on. If you know, you know. When it comes to front wheel drive cars, these are one of the best handling out there, especially with the mods that this one's got, meaning it can be an epic track weapon or a B-road bomber. When I tell you this car is a little spicy tool, I ain't messing around. This thing sounds heavenly. Nasty. So guys, with that said, it's time for me to part ways with the Meg, but your opportunity to own it. So head over to Level Up Giveaways, put a ticket for just 49p on the Golf R, and who knows, you could win this or even the Golf R. The competition ends Sunday, the 2nd of July. You gotta be in it to win it. Get involved. Let's get back to the video. All right guys, so as the intro said, today is a very, very special day because it's a little bit of a secret that I've been keeping from you guys for a while, but those in the know, and those people around me are Romain from Race Cow, MK Performance Mahir, and of course the boys down here at Auto Talk, including the main man himself, Josh, who is here. But before we get there, I just want to talk a little bit about the last time you saw this car and the numbers that it's been running. Since that day that I got that 9.82, I think it was, with Romain and Josh down at the runway, basically breaking the nines, the first and only run I'd done that managed to break the nines, I've never been able to see them again. It's always been low tens or tens flat. We think that there is more to the story of why it isn't hitting those times. Also, we have a hurt open wagon diff at the back, which we have something really cool to show you, which is going to replace that. I was only going to tell you guys about the new crazy build that is about to happen to this car, which I've probably plastered all over the thumbnail. However, the plot thickens now because something has come up, which means there's gonna be an intermediate build that's all crazy. And look, I'm not gonna waffle too much. I'm gonna have a little chat back to the main man, Josh, who has honestly got his blood, sweat and tears in this car, and talk him through what's going on, right? So let's talk about, firstly, the reason we think we're not breaking the nines anymore, firstly.
Okay, yeah, so there's basically 3 potentials going on here. So rear diff being the first one. So for a little while now, picked up that the rear diff is very, very hurt. To the point where I checked the oil and went to give it an oil change. It came out black of any ace of spades, and I could get a magnet and literally look like a magician, just move the oil around as it's coming out. So it is real bad.
And that was, and we still sent it on that. The last couple of things they've seen.
It's actually been to 3 more events since. So it's time for that, and that's one potential that it could be holding it back, being like resistive through the drivetrain if it's like a bearing failing, etc.
Yep.
The other thing is we are maxed out on boost.
Yep.
So at the time when you're running 9.8, this turbo was peaking out about 2 bar. Just about 2.1 in the mid-range, it was tapped out, done.
Yeah.
That could be down to exhaust housing being too small for what you're trying to push, etc. Because normally with most turbos, when they sort of spec a power number that they can do, like horsepower number, like I think for instance they say this one can do maybe 900 horsepower, 900 horsepower, sorry, yeah.
Is that what they say?
You know, that comes down to what it's being bolted onto, and it's normally based off of a larger exhaust housing that they offer. So that'd be, in this case, I believe a 1.03 over R. We think really what's just happening is just that the turbo is tired, and it is just not as efficient as it would have been when we first bolted it on, basically.
Yep.
The other thing is your front mount.
Let's talk about the eBay special. And shout out to the eBay specials and Jackie Chan who made this, because we paid about £150 for it, maybe 2.5 years ago. I think it's rated to 400 brake. We're running near on double that, and it's still
that
holding on.
has been on since you first boosted it, so it's not even had nothing to do with me. It's just it's well past its sell-by date in terms of power. Just from the data, like you can do one run and be over 50 degrees air temp. Being the fact that it's in and out on the same side, needing to be twin pass, whether or not it's a true twin pass or not, I don't know.
Probably
being
not.
a price fit, it probably ain't. So that's half the problem. So,
Yep.
and there might be a pressure drop from in and out as well. So you could actually be producing 2.2, 2.3 out for turbo, but you're seeing 1.9 bar back at the inlet manifold side from a pressure drop, potentially.
There you go.
So it's going to be a case of we're going to put a front mount on it, get that rectified. We are going to go for a bigger turbo as this intermediate build for the reasons we can't.
Let me just put a quick disclaimer on this, right, guys? So we've been called up for something. This car was I was going to leave this car here and just leave it off the road until the build you're about to see had finished. However, we've been called up for something, and because we need to make sure this car can run the times it ran before, i.e. in the 9s, it's back for an intermediate build. But we can't, I don't want to ruin a surprise because it's going to be epic. However, we need to go with our A game. So, yes.
We do indeed. We do indeed. Now that we know details.
Yes, yes.
So, yeah, this visit, we got, what, a couple of weeks?
Yes.
I think. So it's turbo, front mount, and get a rear diff sorted.
Oh yes, rear dip. And also shout out to Romain from Racecal, because he's fitted us in for a last minute mapping session. We all know how sought after that guy's time is. So right now, a massive shout out to him 100%. Too. It's all go, it's all go.
Yeah, he's on board, you're on board, I'm on board. We'll get it sorted, we'll get it there, and it'll be worth it hopefully in the long run.
Perfect. Let's not tell him too much about the turbo. Right, we'll save that for another video, because as I say, guys, we got a ton of stuff going on, and what I want to show you is the hardware that is going on this car to produce what we want to produce, and talk about exactly how much power we want to produce. If I haven't already, I've probably written it all over the thumbnail picture and just shouted about it. So you probably already know, but if you don't, we're about to talk about it. But I think we should go to the engine room, which is a bit of a giveaway as to what's going on, and tell them the good news.
Let's go.
All right, guys, so we are now in the engine room here at Auto Talk, and we're basically going to show you the rectification for our open diff, and in my opinion, the best replacement on the market. Here is what we're going with. We are going with the Wave TRAC LSD for the wagon rear diff, and this should suffice in what we need it to, right?
100%.
I've had them on my Porsche, I've had them on my BMW, I've had them on something else, I can't remember, but basically there's a reason I keep going back.
Yeah, no, fair play. And yeah, I'm actually very impressed with them as well. They've got a patterned design. Normally, from what I understand, the engagement is normally like solid on metal, where they use carbon fibre plates, I believe. So that's to help keep the life of the diff, because what happens with the other types of designs is that you'll end up losing that friction over time, and the diff will then get tired out. Whereas this is built to basically last and carry on for as long as possible. A lot of diffs will, when a wheel becomes unloaded in a situation of if you've popped a wheel around a corner, so you're freewheeling or you're on and off acceleration, the power coming through would normally basically not go through to that wheel because of that situation, whereas these don't, basically. So
there's no let off.
There's no let off.
These are the LSDs that all the big power ones are using, pretty much, you know.
Basically, yeah.
Well, listen, the main thing is that this is going to see us through the next part of our journey, which, you know, a lot of people have tuned in to hear more about. So, yeah, a massive shout out to WaveTrack because, yeah, as I say, like you guys already know, I only use the best and have only used the best so far on this build. And things are about to get a lot crazier. So, guys, under this blanket, our makeshift blanket, we have something that is going to take us to the next level. So what I'm going to do is just show you guys exactly how we're going to take this car to the next level. So Josh, do you want to be our lovely assistant?
I'll do the honours, yeah.
And do the honours. I wonder if anyone can guess what's under it.
I don't know, it's quite obvious.
I know, I've built a suspense for something that they probably know what's going on. So here we go, guys. Now, yes, what you're looking at is a new block, or a donor block, should we say. This block is all the way from America, from a company called Rami Racing. It's a K20 A2, so it's still 2 litre, not a K24. And what you're looking at here is dartened sleeves and O-rings, done by one of the best, probably in America.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the builds that come out of this, these places.
There's a few names out in America, and they're one of them.
They are right up there. Already honed out to 86mm, I believe. And this should be capable of our target of 1200 brake horsepower. 1200 brake horsepower in the Integra, guys. So, Josh, how you feeling?
I'm sure we'll get there. I'm sure we will get there. As you can see, I know from the past we don't stop.
Yep.
And if we run into any issues, we always get around them and crack on. I think the engine's going to do fine in making your power goals.
Yep.
I think we'll run into issues further on down the line where other stuff
We'll start breaking.
Props, UJ,
Yeah.
dry shafts, etc. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah,
So that's
for
all
sure.
part of the journey, really.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to be. And what I don't want people to think is we're gonna whack this block in and just send it straight away to 1200 brake. Don't worry, we're going to get there, and we're not going to beat around the bush getting there. But I think what we need to do is inch it up because things will start breaking. So the first step is the 4-digit magical number 1000 brake horsepower. So we're going to get it to 1000 brake horsepower. This build will do 1000 brake horsepower, mark my words. And then we're going to inch it up from there to 1200 brake. Now, this is a bare block, as you guys have seen. However, we still need to spec the pistons and rods. We kind of know what we're putting in it, and the supporting bits that come with that. The idea for this, to keep it K20 for me, is to do something a little bit more original. I know there's some high power K20s out there, don't get me wrong, but most people go K24 when they're going over 1000 brake or to 1000 brake. I wanted to keep it 2 litre, and I wanted to get the revs. So basically what we're aiming for is a 10,000 RPM, 1000 plus brake horsepower, 2 litre screamer. Yeah, we're going to achieve that. So
10,000 minimum.
10,000 minimum RPM right now on this block. So what's going to be happening behind the scenes is Josh is going to be working away, building this engine up whilst we're speccing it. Yeah, man, it's about to be a journey, guys. I can't wait to get this started. You know, the build will literally start now. This is today. This has just got dropped off now, so things are about to start happening. So it's now a question of pistons, rods, supporting mods, and everything like that. And another crazy thing is, in fact, 2 things. The intermediate build that we will show you more about, which will be completed on the next video, which is coming very, very soon because we have no time at all. The idea for that is to run mid-9s, consistent high 9s, consistent, but mid-9s it should do on the street. At 1000 brake horsepower on this 4-banger, the goal is to break the 8s on the road, which I think it will do quite comfortably. The goal at 1200 or thereabouts is to run this mid to low 8s. And that is what I think it should be capable of. Don't get me wrong, guys, it's going to be a long journey, but I think we're going to get there.
Yeah, it will be a long journey, definitely. But like you say, the plan really is, so like once this intermediate build's done, you know, it will still basically be the same as it is, just with a few extra upgrades and pushing the engine, whatever. Yeah. You can always turn it down a little bit after.
That's the thing, yeah. Basically, what he's trying to say is we're at the limit on our CSS block, and I'm just saying, just give us a little bit more.
just give us a little bit more. But we'll show more about exactly what's happening and how much power it makes. It's gonna make more power on the next video. So I can feel my camera actually getting hot, or it's just me getting hot, I don't know. I'm getting excited, right? So before my camera explodes and before we bore people to death, because I know there's a lot of talking, right? But we'll leave it here, I think, right? Because a lot needs to go on now behind the scenes. The first things that will be happening is this WaveTrack LSD will be going on. You guys will see the results because this will be fitted on the intermediate build. It's going in ASAP. So yeah, guys, look, that is the news I wanted to share with you. It's all going on. So 1200 brake horsepower is now the goal. Yes, I am crazy. Yes, it's actually been certified. I am crazy. But we love crazy because it's different, and who else is doing it? So we've already got probably one of the craziest Honda street builds in the UK. Now we're about to just absolutely tear it to pieces and ruin any other fast street car's life. So yeah, it's about to happen. Also 100 to 200 times, I would assume at 1000 brake would be mid to low threes. At 1200 brake, we should be touching in the twos, 100 to 200. So yeah, it's gonna get real mad. So guys, listen, if you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. Make sure you check out AutoTalk's channel because they do a lot of behind the scenes of my builds and other cool builds that they're getting up to. So I'll leave links to that in the description. We got a lot going on basically. So once again, a massive shout out to WaveTrack, massive shout out to yourself, bro, for even accepting this challenge, but I know you're always game. AutoTalk, RaceCal, MK Performance, and everyone who's gonna be involved in the next part of this craziness. So guys, with that said, smash the thumbs up, and yeah, man, we're sending it to the moon. So yeah, we will catch you on the next one. Peace out.